The shadows of Detroit sprawled like fangs dipped in ink, swallowing Damali Richards whole. By day, she was spoken word fire, spitting truth through a microphone, but come nightfall, she hunted the monsters lurking in the darkest corners, vampires. Not your sparkly, brooding bloodsuckers, these were ancient leviathans of the night, cloaked in power and thirsting for oblivion. Tonight, a different chill prickled the hairs on Damali's neck. Something primal, older than the rusted hulks of abandoned factories, gnawed at the edges of her senses. She wasn't supposed to be out past sunset. The Guardians, her ragtag band of vampire slayers, were stretched thin. But when whispers of butchered artists and mutilated bodies surfaced, whispers woven with an unholy terror, Damali couldn't stay put. The scene at the Blood Music Club confirmed her worst fears. Blood, not neatly drained but torn away in a frenzy, painted the once vibrant club walls macabre red. The fear clinging to the air was a palpable entity, whispering of a monster beyond imagining. Her investigation led her to Warriors of Light, a rival club, where she found the same savagery. But amidst the carnage, a clue, a symbol carved into flesh, a sigil older than time, older than the city itself. The mark of Fallon Nuit, a rogue vampire of infamous brutality, rumored to have vanished centuries ago. But the legends about his hunger were just that, legends. This was raw, unbridled fury, something darker even than a rogue. Following a trail of blood and nightmares, Damali found herself in the crumbling remains of an abandoned church, converted into Nuit's macabre lair. The stench of decay and something more, an ancient rot, hung heavy in the air. And then she saw him, Fallon Nuit, towering over a chained artist, his eyes burning with an ember like hunger. This wasn't the controlled monster of law. This was a demon cloaked in human skin, eyes reflecting an abyss older than humanity. The fight was a ballet of silver blades and snarling shadows. Damali, a whirlwind of honed reflexes and sacred chants, clashed against Nuit's inhuman speed and unholy strength. Her blades, blessed by generations of slayers, sang against his ebony claws, sparks showering the darkness like fallen stars. But Nuit was no ordinary vampire. He wielded an alien power, drawing strength from the very shadows themselves, and with each passing moment, he grew stronger. Just as despair threatened to drown her, something shifted. A gust of wind, cold and unnatural, swept through the crumbling walls. A figure emerged from the shadows, tall and lean, with eyes like smoldering embers. Carlos Rivera, Damali's ex-lover turned vampire, walked into the carnage, his gaze locked on Nuit. Betrayal and an agenda Damali couldn't decipher flickered in his eyes. He lunged at Nuit, fangs bared in a challenge, forcing the rogue vampire to turn his attention. The battle became a macabre waltz, three predators locked in a dance of death. Damali, seizing the opportunity, unleashed a burst of her Neteru powers, harnessing the ancient magic hidden within her blood. Sunlight, woven from pure energy, lanced through the darkness, momentarily searing Nuit's unholy flesh. He roared in pain, distracted long enough for Carlos to land a blow, tearing through Nuit's side with a blade dripping with an unknown ichor. Nuit, weakened but enraged, lashed out, throwing Carlos aside like a ragdoll. Damali dove forward, fueled by a desperate need to protect her former lover, her blade sinking deep into Nuit's shoulder. The rogue vampire roared, a sound that shook the very bones of the old church, and then, with a final, earth-shattering scream, he crumbled to dust. Victory tasted like ash in Damali's mouth. Carlos lay injured, his eyes shimmering with a hunger Damali had never seen before. The shadows in the church seemed to writhe, eager to fill the void left by Nuit's demise. And within herself, Damali felt a tremor, a spark of her Neteru power ignited, flickering uncontrollably. The battle was won, but the war for the shadows had just begun. The legend of the vampire huntress had taken a terrifying turn. Damali stood at the precipice of something far greater, a darkness stirring in her own blood, a power both tempting and terrifying. The awakening was complete, but the true horror had just begun. This is just a glimpse into the chilling tapestry of the awakening. Each character carries a hidden depth. Each moment thrums with a macabre tension.